Hey, hey, hey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are on this amazing world. So, today we have lots of great news. Let's just jump into it. And yeah, so bulls are back. This is the biggest news that bulls seems to be coming back. So, Bitcoin surges past 20,000 US dollar resistance with high exchange outflow, 50,000 US dollar next in sight. Okay, so I think that was the news maybe early morning today. Okay, so we passed the crucial 40,000 levels and is currently trading above these 40,000 levels, and also the market cap is at 70 750 billion US dollar. The sentiment shows us that Bitcoin got up to a 3 week high at 40,800 US dollar a few hours ago, and upward push appears to be aided by a healthy flow of funds being moved off exchanges today. So it seems that funds are flowing out from exchanges. So people are purchasing Bitcoin and they are sending out from exchanges. So if we see a dump, then people are sending Bitcoin into exchanges because they want to sell. But if we see an outflow from exchanges, that means that don't uh, people doesn't plan to sell their bitcoins. Okay, the market analyst says the 200-day moving average about for 40,500. Will be setting up itself for its next move to 50,000 US dollars. So that would be huge, but let's see just play how it will play out. So MicroStrategy to sell a 1 billion in common stock to buy Bitcoin. And this is after the half a million bond issue that they are just completing today or this week. First, that it successfully completed the conversion of 500 million worth of corporate bonds to 2028, and the company is willing to invest this amount in Bitcoin. As of now, MicroStrategy holds more than 92,000 bitcoins in its treasury, with its total investments going past 2.2 billion. And they are stating that they are planning to sell some Class E stocks and purchasing Bitcoin. So that will be huge. But let's go forward. I think we will have another MicroStrategy related news. Bitcoin price moved towards 40,000 US dollar as on chain and technical analysis favor bulls. What a turnaround! That last week everyone was bearish and now everyone is bullish. But let's check the crypto fear index, and let's see that today we are in the fear category, but uh, at 38. So it's much higher than we spent a few days back. We know that in the last months we spent between 10 and 12, and it was really low after dropping from 70. And now maybe this was the first day. This is the first day today that uh, it's about 30. So that's a good sign that we can recover and go to the upward trajectory. Okay, so that's the news. Okay, so today the crypto market remains on edge and it's 2 months removed from Bitcoin's all-time high near 26,000 US dollar. Market analysis from Delphi Digital identified a major head and shoulders pattern that could spell more short-term pain in BTC dives below 30,000 US dollar. Okay, short-term holders suffer losses The 50% decrease in price over the past 2 months may seem extreme to those unfamiliar with the volatility of cryptocurrency market, but it comes as no surprise to the long-term holders who have seen multiplied drawdowns of an even larger magnitude over the last decade. So what we see here, this is the drawdown from the 52-week high and also the Bitcoin price. So that is we see that this drawdown is really high. So the short-term holders, the retail investors, are selling. The rapidly falling prices sent new and old Bitcoin holders running for sidelines, resulting in trades selling at a loss according to spend output profit ratio (SOPR) data highlighted by cryptocurrency analyst Fib Flip. Philip Fib. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin price, and this is from Decent Trader. Philip is the Decent Trader guy, and if this marks the red marks when short-term holders are selling in a profit or short-term holders selling in a loss. This is the green one. So we see that short-term holders selling in a loss. Okay. Then sorry, spent output profit. So it's just concerning to also to long and short-term holders. The crypto fear and greed index has also reached its lowest level since the March 2020 sell-off initiated by the COVID pandemic. So we already know. We checked it recently. Okay, sentiment begins to rebound. While it's true that Bitcoin has seen its price for more than 30,000 US dollar over the past 2 months, it's important to note that the amount it has fallen as well its current price are nearly double the previous all-time high set in 2017. Okay, let's check this chart. This black is the Bitcoin chart and the 28-day price change, and also the 28-day active address change, and this showing that the price change moving back up into the active address change band. So what we see that more and more addresses moving back into the active zone. Okay, Rec Capital showing that the BTC halving blew occur in the year prior to the next candle, and candle 1 is where BTC experiences the most explosive growth. Whatever the FUD towards BTC is right now won't change the long-term effect that the BTC halving has on Bitcoin's price. So these are the years after halving, and we see that after halving, most of the years are in huge green, and not just we are in the first year, so we are nowhere nowhere compared to the previous post-halving years. Okay, the next piece of news. MicroStrategy files to sell as much as 1 billion in shares. So we also mentioned this. Okay, software maker said earlier it's closed the sale of the bonds. CEO Michael Saylor is among biggest booster of Bitcoin. Yeah, Michael Saylor. Okay. Bitcoin price could hit 85,000 US dollar in months as indicators flip Polish report. On-chain data suggests that Bitcoin is starting recovery, like in December 2018 and March 2020. Okay, Bitcoin is still below the key moving average, and that is not a bullish sign, says a new report, but signs of a rebound have finally arrived. Trading suit Decent Trader highlighted the three on-chain indicators. Uncertainty after the recent crash and fears around President Biden's announcement at the G7 summit this coming weekend around how the US will tackle cryptocurrency in relation to recent ransomware attacks are holding price down for now. So GC will just discuss Bitcoin because this ransomware attacks, but I think this is not the biggest issue that GC should discuss, but maybe yeah, this is how they also can target in Bitcoin. Yeah, we already checked this chart in the previous article. 85,000 US dollar within months. Okay, this plan B said would pose a surprise where it's not to happen. So we may well see price make its way back up to the stock to flow line in the coming months. This would mean new all-time highs for BTC before the end of this year, and stock to flow line is currently sitting at 85,000 US dollar. So now we are at the upper trend line of the stock to flow model at 30,000. Sorry, the lower band line. The upper band line is at 130,000, and and the main trend line is at 85,000. And then this prediction says that we will bounce there within few months. MicroStrategy could hold more than 5 billion in Bitcoin after latest private offering and crypto purchase. Okay. MicroStrategy sold 500 million worth of senior secured notes in a private offering to buyers within and outside within and outside the United States. So more of the buyers were hedge funds and institutional investors. And it seems that MicroStrategy is now holding about 100,000 if we are adding that is intended to purchase now. Okay, the next piece of news. Bitcoin goes over 40,000 after Paul Tudor Jones says he wants 5% of his portfolio in BTC. Paul Tudor Jones is a hedge fund manager, and there was an interview with him, and he says that I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is mass, and mass has been around for thousands of years.
Bitcoin is math, and math has been around for thousands of years, and it 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that's reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainty, where, again, I look at the difference between the Fed of 2013, the Fed of 2021. I'm going, how can this, do I want to have faith necessarily? I look at the difference between Trump and Biden. Do I want to have faith in that same reliability and consistency of human nature and the linear nature of human nature, which we know is anything but that?
You like Bitcoin at these prices?
Listen.
You got in what, at about 10,000?
I like Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Everyone always asks me, what should I do with my portfolio? My employees say, I say, okay, listen, the only thing that I know for certain is I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, 5% in commodities at this point in time. I don't know what I want to do with the other 80%. I want to wait and see what the Fed's going to do, because what they do will have a big impact.
Okay, so what the Fed will do, that will have a huge impact.
You I want to say last.
Okay, it costs more to mine the gold energy-wise than it does Bitcoin. Clearly, I'm concerned about the environmental impacts of Bitcoin. If I was king of the world, I would ban Bitcoin mining just because the environmental impact, and then make the ecosystem figure out a way to do it without expanding the supply anymore at all. Okay. Yeah, so that is interesting. That was, yeah. This is Bitcoin price that we have seen, and this is the price range between 30,000 and 40,000, where the Bitcoin price is just side waving right now. Okay, so the next piece of news maybe will be also about Paul Tudor Jones. American hedge fund manager Tudor Jones says he likes Bitcoin as portfolio diversifier. Let's see if there is anything new here. I want 5% in everything. Jones has a net worth of than 5 billion. So he has 5 billion US dollar net worth. Okay, so this is almost the same. El Salvador Bitcoin adoption will get help from Central American Development Bank. It's a new, interesting news. The president of the Central American Bank of Economic Integration told a press conference today that the region's most prominent multilateral bank will assist El Salvador in establishing Bitcoin as legal tender in the country. So this is somehow much friendly that what the IMF and the ECB said about that they really don't like that El Salvador is making Bitcoin a legal tender. So it sounds much friendly and much supportive. The development bank will establish a technical team to assist the government of El Salvador. Nice. We feel very proud that your government's first choice is soliciting help and support with the implementation in the Central American Bank for Economic Integration. Okay. Yeah, so they will have a Strike wallet, Lightning Network, stable coins, Bitcoin. Nice. Great to hear that. So that is really supportive, and I think we will see more and more this kind of corporations. Coinbase Pro will list Polkadot cryptocurrencies. So good news for DOT holders. And we already know that Kusama is the test network of Polkadot, and the parachains are going live on Kusama, and that can support further Kusama's price, and also it can boost um, it can boost Polkadot as well. So they are preparing to list Polkadot. Okay, trading will begin tomorrow, Wednesday. DOT is a top 10 token, making it a major addition to the exchange. Nice. Okay. They have a recent listing Doge, Sushi, USDT, Tron, VeChain. Great, congrats to DOT. Ethereum smart contracts closes in one milestone, quarter of supply locked. I repeat it, quarter of Ethereum supply is locked. Okay, so Ethereum has reached a new milestone with over 25% of all ETH supply locked behind smart contracts, a notable increase over the 50% during last year. As pointed out by the ETH Hub founder Anthony Sassano, the current ETH supply percentage under smart contracts is similar to what it was during the DAO event in 2016. Okay, so this is the percentage of the supply in smart contracts, and we see that it started to increase really last summer, and especially from February this year. And it's also ETH 2.0 staking coming in this, because that means the Bitcoin chain contract alone accounts for nearly 22% of the total ETH under smart contracts. From the total 25%, 22 is locked in the ETH 2.0 staking. All the others are locked in DeFi and in stablecoin, collateral, and other smart contracts. Ethereum price trend. Okay. When was that article written? Yeah. Great news for Ethereum holders. eToro CEO, a transfer of over 10 trillion US dollar over next 10 years into crypto assets. Johnny Assia, co-founder of CEO of social trading and multi-asset brokerage eToro, talked about the future of crypto. When we are thinking about the future, eToro firmly believes in the combination and connection between crypto assets and equities. The majority of our clients trade both cryptocurrencies as well as stocks on the platform. So I think that's definitely a trend sort of continuing in the future. I think a lot of people will want to manage their investments in one account. Okay, they are big believers of future of blockchain. DeFi is a bit of a wild west right now. No regulation, no real financial institutions, but a lot of amazing innovation. I think we are going to see a lot of that innovation going into traditional or regular financial institutions, centralized companies, to be able to offer that innovation directly to customers. So this means that one day banks will offer DeFi services to their clients. I think of a Bitcoin as the king of crypto. Bitcoin is here to stay. I will be surprised if we don't see a significant rise in the price of Bitcoin over the next 3 to 5 years, as still 5 billion people in the world basically don't really have a good local currency. I think smart contracts and everything we are seeing in DeFi, this is just the beginning. It's the infancy of how financial services as are going to look like in the future, and I think the thing that needs to be solved, and hopefully within the next 12 to 18 months, is scalability of blockchain protocols. Yeah, so I think so, because all Polkadot, Solanas, and Cardanos and other protocols are working hard to solve the scalability issue and provide a huge transaction output and speed and cheap prices. The next piece of news. Bitcoin bulls should mark this date on their calendars, says analyst Justin Bennett. Okay, so Justin Bennett is a crypto trader. There is a strategy session. Okay, monthly futures expiration date have played a big part in Bitcoin price action, often correlating with local tops and bottoms. So these are almost the last Friday, or I think the last Friday of the month when the um, options are expiring, and we see a drop before the expire date and a price pump after the expiry date. Expect the last April month, but also there was also such a movement, but now we just broke this trend, I think, in May. Okay. Uh, he says, my theory is that Bitcoin has followed monthly futures expirations, that it stands to reason that it could also be following quarterly futures expirations. And if that is the case, we saw the top shortly after April started. And if this is the case, if this theory holds up, then we could see crypto's bottom sometimes around June 15th. That's when Q2 futures expire. So June 20th of June is going to be a date to keep on your calendar, and I'm going to go ahead and state that anywhere from June 20th to June 25th is going to be a range to keep an eye. So that will be a date at 25th of June, and then the price just can drop according this. But I think there is a lot if in this statement. However, if this theory has merit, it is almost important to note that it could mean cryptos could stay under pressure for the next couple of weeks till that June 25th expiration. It's just a theory of mine, but given what we have seen from monthly futures expiration so far, then the latest this month of June, because that could mark the bottom for cryptos. So according to Justin Bennett, he says that in June 25th there will be a drop, and that there will mark a bottom for cryptocurrencies, and the drop will be caused option expire date, and then it's 10 days from here. The next piece of news. Tanzanian president urges central bank to prepare for crypto. So we already mentioned this news yesterday. This is also huge news. So my call to the central bank is that you should start working on the development. The central bank should be ready for the changes and not be caught unprepared. So this is a really straightforward advice to the central bank. Okay, let's see. According to Useful Tulips, sub-Saharan Africans is the second largest region for peer-to-peer trading behind North America, representing roughly 16.5 million US dollar in weekly volume, and peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading with 8.5 million in BTC, changing hands weekly in Nigeria, and in Kenya 3 million weekly, and Ghana 2 million weekly, and South Africa with 1.6 million. So I think as these countries are not so wealthy countries, these numbers could seem to be low, but actually as we see that these countries are just living cost and all other things are lower, then it's really a big part of the uh, transactions that people are using it, and they are not using it for investment, but they are using it for peer-to-peer payments. And also there was a news that Nigeria is working on something similar like Tanzania and El Salvador and others. So we'll see what is Nigeria proving for crypto and for Nigerians. The next piece of news. Okay. Bitcoin remittances to El Salvador's surge 300% ahead of BTC becoming legal tender. Okay, it's good to see that 300% increase from uh, yeah from 400,000 to 2.5 million or even more. According to the World Bank, remittance using traditional money totaled nearly 6 billion in 2018, and about 95% of total remittances in the first quarter of this year came from Salvadorians working in the US. Cool. IMF warned the country of legal and economic issues last week. Yeah, we know maybe they will not get the loan that they are discussing with the IMF. And also the president of ECB said that ECB's policy is unaffected by El Salvador's Bitcoin law. Okay, so good movement, and nice to see this surge in remittance transactions. So this is a real use case for Bitcoin and crypto. Goldman Sachs expands cryptocurrency trading desk with Ether futures and options. Okay, so Goldman Sachs is entering crypto and offering not just buy Bitcoin and hold services, but trading desk with Ethereum futures and options. The bank says institutional adoption will continue. Nothing that, despite the material price correction, we continue to see a significant amount of interest in this space. So, few weeks back, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and all other big banks said that institutions are not coming, institutions are not interested, and now we see again that institutions are interested in crypto and they are coming. We have actually seen a lot of interest from clients who are eager to trade as they find these levels as a slightly more uh, palatable entry point. We see it as a cleansing exercise to reduce some of the leverage and the excess in the system, especially from a retail perspective. Yeah. Institutional adoption will continue despite the material price correction. We continue to see a significant amount of interest in this space. So institutionals are coming, that's for sure, according to Goldman Sachs. The next piece of news, also from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs reportedly exploring Ether options, so this is almost the same. It will be available in the coming months. Okay. Okay. Even though the crypto market is in something resembling a bear market, McDermott told Bloomberg that this hasn't deterred client interest. So client think that there is not a bear market right now. Okay, Ether futures and options. The inherent nature of crypto has presented new problems for regulators, including budgetary challenges. So, despite their claim of becoming a leader in the crypto space, there has been a lack of guidance on this issue, he continued. Okay, the next piece of news. According to Dream Draper, for industries, according to Dream Draper, that really changing, transforming, uh, that will be transformed by crypto. Okay, I think maybe this is, yeah, let's check. We have got a combination of technologies that are going to transform not just banking but finance. I can imagine a time where I raise funds just in Bitcoin, invest in all in Bitcoin, have the companies pay their employees and suppliers all in Bitcoin, have that all be a walled garden where taxes are taken out in Bitcoin. And it requires no friction. It requires no accounting, no auditing, no bookkeeping, no legal. It's all done in this perfect walled garden because the blockchain keeps perfect records. So this is the main thing. We don't need this all this auditing, bookkeeping, accounting stuff because the blockchain keeps perfect records. In fact, I could imagine an insurance company that sends you a check before you issue a claim because the surveillance has recognized that your house has burned down or that you have got cancer or that something horrible has happened. What is government but a bunch of insurance companies put together? That government can also be much more streamlined. All those insurance programs, the healthcare insurance and workmen's company insurance and unemployment insurance and welfare and pension, social security, they are all insurance programs. You can set those up on a smart contract with Bitcoin and they are completely fair and you don't have people getting in that way. And those people can go be productive in other things. So, important news from yesterday that with Taproot, smart contracts will come on Bitcoin and they will, this Taproot upgrade will be finalized uh, until November. Healthcare is going through a major transformation. Some of that is tied to putting your healthcare records on the blockchain, but a lot of it's that it's all going digital. You can do both you therapeutics and your diagnostics in digital form. Okay, great news. We will check it tomorrow. Yeah, let's check this. Ethereum has the most compelling bull case in the industry because the ETH 2.0, the DeFi, and also we know that with the ETH 2.0 upgrade, Ethereum will become a deflatorary because the transaction fees will be burned and the platform will move from proof of work model to proof of stake model and the transaction throughput will be much higher. So this is good news to support scalability and Ethereum role in DeFi also will grow further. The whole DeFi realm, Uniswap, MakerDAO, and others. And also more and more Ethereum will be locked down, not just the ETH 2.0 contract, but also in DeFi. The bottom line of Ethereum. Okay. ET has a massive growth runway ahead. Some experts believe it could dethrone Bitcoin and become the most valuable cryptocurrency in the world. Though it may seem like a wide idea at this time, its upcoming upgrade and its application in the DeFi space suggest otherwise. So that's a great news. Let's check what we see. That yeah, it's a mixed picture. Half of the coins are in green, other halves are in red. So most of the coins are just consolidating after the yesterday pump. While we see just a plus minus zero, and some coins are pumping, but most of them are just consolidating. And this is really good news if Bitcoin can consolidate here at around 40,000. Let's check the Bitcoin chart, and we see that we had this triangle before. This triangle has broken, and now we have just a kind of yeah, but we have a price target of this triangle, let's say 51,000, but now just the price went sideways, and we have a big resistance at 42,000 US dollar, and now it seems that we are also forming this rising wedge. So this is a rising wedge here, and the rising wedge used to be a bearish pattern, but now we are just going in this rising wedge. What I suppose that the Bitcoin price will sidewaving in this 30 and 42,000 range for a while, and maybe we can see a breakout, but let's that the Bitcoin price started to be weakening here at we got closer to 41,000 levels. So I wouldn't be surprised if the price would revisit the low 30,000s. So I think this is a good news where Bitcoin consolidating in this range. It will give more support to the future growth. So guys, this is for today. CorionX supporting this daily crypto news because CorionX is for the crypto adoption. So see you tomorrow, and please push the like, the subscribe, and the bell notification if you are not already subscribed, and see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.